So the RBA has botched our economy. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's check out this article from in Queensland because I think it's one all of you will like. So the RBA accused of botching our economy. Deloitte says the last two hikes are not necessary. Now, for those of you playing at home, you can see the cash rate here. We're at 3.6%, approaching 4%. Now, that's a significant climb. Remember, it was at 0.1% for so long, I didn't bother updating this chart. So, well, there you go, everyone. So let's have a look at this one. So the RBA accused of botching our economy. Deloitte has accused the Reserve Bank of botching its handling of the economy, claiming that the two interest rate rises earlier this year were unnecessary. Okay. In its Business Outlook report, Deloitte said there were at least 300,000 Australians experiencing negative cash flow as mortgages and rents and essential expenses exceeded income. That should not be a shock to us all, Deloitte partner and author of the report, Stephen Smith, said. The company has revised down its economic growth forecast from 1.5% to 1.2%. The RBA forecast is for 1.5% and the IMF expects 1.6%. However, Queensland and Western Australia are relative bright spots in the economy because of mining exports. All those mining exports that everyone hates. Oh, by the way, have you noticed in the news, Germany's just shut down their last few nuclear plants. And now they're using, over 30% coal. Progress. Oh, is humanity getting stupider? Is it? It feels like it, doesn't it? It really does. Smith said the RBA had tempted fate with the two increases, and Australia was facing the weakest rate of economic growth outside the pandemic since the recession of the early 1990s. The recession Australia had to have. Smith said the hikes earlier this year had prompted a further downgrade of Australia's economic growth outlook. The downgrade has centered on our households, and consumer recession is now forecast in 2023, with households spending expected to finish the year below where it started, Smith said. At a cash rate of 3.6%, most Australians will be just fine. Many, however, will not. And this is the big difference that we're seeing here in the stratification of classes in Australia. It isn't the egalitarian society it was in the past. You've got people earning significantly more money than others. You've got people who are on enough money that these crazy house prices don't even affect them at all. Or these interest rate increases are not a big issue. Australia's changing, guys. It's changing. In just 10 months, the cost of servicing an average $600,000 mortgage will have risen by $14,000 a year once those rate hikes are fully passed through. But that is just the average, and there are plenty of mortgage holders on either side of those numbers. Yeah, you've got people in the comments in the chat saying, oh, I've got my $100,000 mortgage, my $150,000 mortgage. Why won't they give me a big discount? And of course, some of you have like an offset account with all the money just sitting there, so you're not getting it. You know, I think you're just teasing the banks. You know, I'm gonna not transfer that money over. I'll just keep it in the offset. You know, what happens if you put more? If you put more in the offset that's on your mortgage, do you get the interest rate for the mortgage paid to you? Would that be better than a term deposit? Now that's an interesting idea. There we go. Report back to me, guys. I'm sure they wouldn't be that friendly. A key issue was housing, and Deloitte said new supply would barely keep pace with population growth. There you go. What have I been saying for months? This is the manifestation of the construction apocalypse coming through here. We're losing capacity to build, and demand is going to increase. And there are going to be people. I need to find out where we can get these figures, because I remember talking to all the architects when they were talking about the last recession, how many people just left the profession. They had enough. I bet you will see builders walk away from the game because the stress just isn't worth it. Become a trade rep, get a car, drive around, talk about products, wine and dine. Shit, why not? Rather than dealing with all the crap, earn a good six-figure income, you don't need that much to be a pretty bloody happy life, guys. It's not about the stacks of money. It's about controlling your time. That's the secret. That's what you got to learn. Smith said, Australian industry output would increasingly reflect slowing growth and domestic economic conditions, including the effects of weaker household spending. Some sectors of the economy are better positioned to face the slowdown than others, with retail and construction forecast to feel the pinch, while agriculture may pull back after recent highs, he said. There you go, guys. So there we have it. The RBA has botched the economy. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. In some regards, I would say Deloitte are being a bit unfair in purely targeting the RBA, because you have to remember, our government came to the rescue. They locked down the entire economy, and then they intervened to stimulate the economy to offset the damage from the lockdowns. And they changed the rules to allow businesses to trade while insolvent. Now, that was the thing that worried me the most, because in construction, it can take years for a project to finish. We've just, literally tomorrow, Rachel and I are going to do a defects on a school project we've been working on for a few years. I'll have to show you the photos. It's a beautiful job. It's come up really well. Really good builders. They've done a lot of hard work. But I mean, think about it. These projects take a long time, and we're talking about a 4 or 5 million build here. So say you've got a builder who traded while insolvent, it can take a long time for that to catch up to him. So that's kind of why changing the rules is a bad thing. But there you go. I mean, we've got to remember the role of the government and their interventions into the economy, which have contributed to these issues. But there you go. There we have it, guys. So Deloitte thinks the RBA has botched the economy. I can't imagine any of you at all would be surprised or shocked about that one. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comments down below. Thanks, everyone. Check out HeiseBim and Heise Does for other content I create. And I promise I will put more effort into working on them once I get the concrete slabs done and sorted. You can support the channel financially on YouTube or Patreon. You can use our referral links on Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Here's a funny one. I'm buying, because I'm doing renovation work here, I've disconnected the NBN. So I'm looking for a router that can work with 4G for a couple of months before I wait to get everything wired up. Now, I can go to Amazon Prime, get one delivered for 50 cents cheaper, arriving the next day, than going to a local computer supplier to buy one. So there you go. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Also, if you want a pocket square or an architect, give me a call, and I will see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.